Am I the a-hole for admitting that I regret raising my ex's kid after what she did to my daughter? I-56 male said something in anger that, while at least partially true, maybe should have just taken to the grave. Legally have 3 kids, but played a fatherly role to 4. The 2 relevant children to this story is my daughter Michelle, 24 female, her sister Amy, 22 female, and my youngest daughter, Kelly, 21 female. Amy is not my daughter, but she and Michelle have the same mother, Jessica. When I was with Jessica, there was cheating on both sides, and the last guy she cheated on me with got her pregnant. After the DNA test proved that Amy was his, he bolted and stopped paying child support when Amy was 5. Jessica really struggled as a single mother, and Amy always felt bad that Michelle had a daddy while she didn't, and Michelle would tell me how guilty she felt. By the time Amy was around 9, I started making really good money, and decided to pay a little more than the legally mandated child support and taking Amy with me more. Jessica, Amy, and Michelle all loved this, and by the time Amy was 13, she was calling me dad, which I didn't mind. I thought I was doing a good thing at helping my daughter foster a loving relationship with Amy, and showing all my kids that just because things don't work out doesn't mean you still can't get along. Apparently, I was a little too nice in teaching the importance of sharing too much, because Amy got a crazy idea in her head that it was okay to share a man. And Michelle caught her sleeping with Kelly's boyfriend Jason, 22 male. Amy begged Michelle not to tell, and that this was a one-time thing. And Michelle believed her until she found out that Amy was pregnant and eventually came clean. Kelly was distraught and angry at both Amy and Jason, while hurt by Michelle. I didn't hide my disappointment at Michelle, and I have made it a point to tell her so every time we talked. I haven't spoken to Amy in months, but Jessica recently said that I've spent enough time being angry to get over it, and called me hypocrite because I used to be a Jason. I have no delusions about being the perfect partner in my past, but cheating with family members is not one of my sins. About a week ago, Amy came to my house crying and saying that while she knows she messed up, she really needs my support. She literally came not too long after Kelly cried herself to sleep again upstairs over what Amy and Jason did to her. So I calmly asked her how can I give again what I know I regret giving in the first place, then shut the door in her face. I then sent Michelle a text that while I still love her, Amy was no longer welcome in my life and to never bring her to my house. I've calmed down a bit, but I still feel like being involved in Amy's life was a bad choice. So am I the a-hole? Edit. Okay. I've been in and out of here because I had stuff to do, but I keep seeing some things that I wanted to make clear to everyone. 1. What Amy did wasn't a mistake. It was a series of choices that she made, and obviously would have continued to make it if someone else had not ratted her out. 2. Michelle didn't tell Kelly what Amy and Jason were doing until after she found out that Amy was pregnant, which was before Kelly and Jason moved in together. Meaning Michelle stood by and watched her sister moved in with and become financially tied to someone who was cheating on her. That's what Kelly and I are most upset about. 3. Yes, Jason is equally to blame as Amy. He's just not the one contacting me or showing up at my doorstep. 4. No, Amy and Kelly are not sisters. Not by blood, and certainly not in spirit as Kelly wants nothing to do with her. Now for the top comments. A lot of people will disagree, but the fact she expected to be treated as if nothing happened when she slept with her sister's boyfriend and got pregnant as a result is crazy. You did a kind thing raising her and helping her so much, but if she's repaying you and your bi kids by doing things like that, maybe it is right to get her out of your life. Plus, it sounds like the ex is more concerned you won't be there to financially support her daughter, rather than the fact she's pregnant with her sister's boyfriend's child. Good luck. Super surprised by people calling Opie an a-hole. He did a kind thing by accepting Amy as a daughter, but that doesn't mean he has to support her no matter what. Even bi kids can be cut out if they do something egregious like this. Opie's statement was purposefully hurtful, but not unwarranted. I think it's not about him wanting to cut ties/support Amy at all costs, but specifically the AITA is about regretting being involved in Amy's life. And he's done a wonderful thing there that he shouldn't regret, even though Amy has turned into an a-hole. Not an a-hole. When are people going to learn that recreational intimate activity with a family member's partner is a great way to completely burn down their lives? Never, evidently. People won't be forgiving and forgetting that one. And then the guilty one inevitably waves a baby in everyone's faces? Nice try, but no, thank you. You made the situation, now be an adult and deal with it without crocodile tears. I've seen so many people in the sub tell parents who have biological children in this situation that they're doing the wrong thing when they treat the sibling who cheated the same and expect the sibling who was cheated on to suck it up and forgive them. I don't know why it would be different just because one of these siblings isn't biologically yours. You are standing up for your daughter who was betrayed by her boyfriend and her sister. You're telling her sister that you don't support her and that you're disappointed in her. Did you maybe go a bit too far in saying you regret raising her? Some people might think so, but honestly, I don't. She did an unforgivable thing. Even if she was yours, I feel that you would have some regret as a parent that she never thought this was okay. Amy made a choice. She made it over and over again. Did she know all of the consequences of her choice? Probably not. Doesn't mean she shouldn't suffer the consequences of that choice. Next story. Am I the a-hole for forcing my daughter to find her own way to a wedding because of what she was wearing? My wife and I have 3 daughters, 19, 24, and 28. Our youngest, Jill, just started community college this year, while our 2 oldest have moved away to start their careers. Jill still lives with my wife and I as she is attending college locally, and this saves her money. This past weekend, we were invited to my niece's and goddaughter's wedding a couple hours away. The dress code was semi-formal, so men were expected to wear suits and women in dresses. As we were getting ready to leave, Jill was taking her sweet time getting ready, and I was kind of nagging at her to get going. She had been out late the night before with friends, and I'm sure she was feeling the effects of that. When she was finally ready to go, she was wearing some kind of black, spaghetti strap halter top thing with leggings. I told her that was not an appropriate outfit for her cousin's wedding, and that she needs to change into something else. She told me she doesn't have anything else to wear, and that I don't get to police what she's wearing. I told her that judging by the amount of dirty clothes on her floor and in her closet, she clearly has other options. She just didn't plan ahead enough to figure something out. I told her it was disrespectful to her cousin, the bride, to wear something too revealing and tacky to their wedding. Jill called me a jerk and said no one is going to care what she's wearing, and that if people focus on her clothes more than the bride, that's their problem, not hers. I told her in that case, how she's getting to the wedding is her problem, not mine. She asked what that meant, and I told her that if that's what she wants to wear, she's going to have to find her own way to the wedding, because I'm not going to arrive with my daughter looking like she's about to hit a club at 2 a.m. instead of attend her cousin's wedding. My wife chimed in at this point and told us both to calm down. She told me I was being overbearing, but also told Jill that she did not agree with her choice of attire either and reminded her this is a semi-formal event. She told Jill she would help her find a different option that would be better suited for this. Jill scoffed at that and went to her room and closed the door. I went and knocked and told her she has 15 minutes to be ready or we are leaving without her. She yelled at me that I was being an a-hole, so I went outside to wait, and after 20 minutes I went inside and Jill was still in her room. I told my wife that I'm leaving and she can either come with me now or her and Jill can figure out their own plans. My wife asked what Jill is supposed to do, and I said she can take an Uber for all I care at this point. My wife reluctantly left with me, and I could tell she felt guilty about the whole thing. Jill ended up not coming to the wedding, and both her and my wife blame me for it. I don't think I was the a-hole here, though. You're exactly right. Leggings and a halter top are not appropriate to wear at a wedding that is set to semi-formal attire. It shows disrespect to the bride, and it's embarrassing for you as well. But the people saying that you have no right to say, "I'm not taking you unless you change," have a double standard. They want to say that Jill is an adult and can wear what she wants / make her own choices, but they still don't believe that Jill should face the consequences of her own choices, and also take on that adult responsibility of having to figure out how to get to an event. Precisely. At 19, I fully understood the difference between semi-formal and not. There's no way I'd have showed up in anything other than a decent dress, no matter how crappy it felt. Jill still lives at home, so even as a legal adult, if she's relying on her parents for a ride, they have every right to say, "Not going in my car dressed like that." I've heard of friends even doing that if a group is carpooling to an event and someone is dressed way out of line. So yes, technically Jill can wear what she wants, but her ride can also say, "I'm not showing up with you if you're dressed like that." Not even a dress. A pantsuit would have sufficed, but leggings at a top for the club? No. I know that a lot of people will start going on about what a woman wears, but this is about not being up to the dress code. And while your daughter had a right to wear what she wanted, you also had a right not to be associated with her decisions on what she wanted to wear. You disagreed with her apparel, and as such, you weren't going to help her be disrespectful to her cousin by not going with the dress code. I put this in a similar category as if your daughter had decided to wear a white dress to the wedding. Yes, there's no law preventing it, but that doesn't mean you have to assist in her decisions. And if she's big enough to decide what she wants to wear, she's big enough to call an Uber. Not a haul. When did people forget that there are types of clothing that is inappropriate to wear in certain places/events? You aren't policing what she wears in that situation. If you can't dress appropriately, then don't go. Next story is titled, Am I the a-hole for refusing to contribute to my stepsister's retirement plan for our parents? My stepsister approached me and our other siblings with a proposal for a retirement plan to help our parents retire, since on the outside, their prospects of retiring comfortably are non-existent. Essentially, she wants us to collectively contribute £3,000 each month starting now and for the rest of our parents' lifetime. The money would be kept in an account in her name only, and only be given to them once my stepdad retires fully. She calculated our contributions based on what she thinks is our total household income. Currently, she would contribute £350, her bi-sister £550, my bi-sister £850, and me £1,250. I said no for a few reasons, but I did disclose these reasons to them. The first being my sister and I have always helped my mom financially, and by extension my stepdad, since we both had our first jobs. My sister and I have a joint account which we contribute to monthly. The money is our mom's, and she has full access to it and can spend it however she likes. My stepdad doesn't know about the accounts as he has a habit of just giving money away when he has it. The second, our parents had a religious marriage. It never registered it with the government, so they're not technically legally married. If my stepdad passes away before my mom, the money will most likely go to my stepsisters because my stepdad isn't the type to write a will. So, I think that's unfair, since both me and my sister are being expected to contribute the majority of the £3,000. The third, I don't trust this stepsister. She asks our parents for money constantly, and is partially the reason why their savings are non-existent. Lastly, I think it was a bit presumptuous of her to decide how much we would all contribute, and it rubbed me the wrong way. Especially since I'm a stay-at-home mom currently, so she's essentially just assuming my husband is going to pay on my behalf. After I said no, both my stepsisters flipped on me. They said I was selfish and greedy, that I should want to help our parents, especially their dad, since he used his hard-earned money to raise me. I got annoyed because they wouldn't drop it, and told them I didn't care. Am I the a-hole? Now for the top comments. The money would be kept in an account in her name only. This was enough, but it only got worse from there. Don't give her a penny. That alone was why I said not the a-hole too. It was a bit presumptuous of her to decide how much we would all contribute, and it rubbed me the wrong way. Yes, it's one thing to suggest caring for your parents, another entirely to go, so you'll pay around £1,000 more a month than me, yeah? This is 50 shades of sketchy. So stepsister is proposing that she be the only one with access to the account. You would think she could at least be smart enough to lie and they'll all contribute the same amount. Currently, she would contribute £350, her bi-sister £550, my bi-sister £850, and me £1,250. So the mooch sister wants to create a fund for the parents, giving her sole authority to manage the money? I think she's either lying to you or lying to herself, and she wants more cash for herself. Why on earth would she administer this fund? She's the least significant contributor by her own plan. Not the a-hole. How generous of her with her siblings' money. How does she explain her having sole control while contributing the least? Whatever you do, don't do this. Now for the last story. Am I the a-hole for telling my mom I won't take care of her once she's too ill to care for herself? I, female 19, am the youngest of 5. I have 4 older brothers, 21, 22, 25, and 28. Just to give some background, my mom has always loved being a boy mom. She dotes on them and made it very, very clear she never wanted to and didn't like having a daughter. She never liked me, and I accepted that long time ago. And her behavior towards me worsened when my dad left her. When I turned 16, her gift to me was a list of jobs I can apply to pay for my expenses, even though my dad was giving her child support. Then at 17, she kicked me out because I wasn't willing to pay more than $400 rent, while my brothers didn't even work. So she asked to meet me for lunch last weekend and told me she is sick. She has been in and out of the hospital the last few months before she found out she's sick, and looking at 12 to 18 months before she'll be too weak/ill to care for herself. She asked that when the time came if I'd be willing to be her caretaker, as she didn't want men, aka my brothers, to take care of her in that state and didn't want a stranger to do it either. Here's where I'm questioning if I'm the a-hole. I told her no, I won't care for her and she should start looking for someone she knows who'd be willing to because I'm not. This past week, I've been receiving nasty messages from everyone from my mom's Facebook because she posted about me not caring about her. They've called me unsympathetic, selfish, mean-spirited, uncaring, etc. My brothers have also been mad at me, and now I feel like an a-hole and I want to know if I am. Not the a-hole. You don't owe her anything. She has 4 children she has invested in. You aren't one of them. She can have a return on her investment through her precious boys. Deactivate Facebook, change your number if you have to, focus on your success and survival because if you don't, no one else will. Or tag this post in every Facebook comment and post mom makes. Let them judge based on her treatment of you, and how she now wants you to give up your life to take care of her when she charged you rent from 16 and kicked you out at 17. Not stay home big time, she doesn't deserve any help from you. Air the dirty laundry. See how sympathetic people are after they see how she treated you. I'm so sorry you have such a terrible mom. I'm going to be quite honest. My mom's friends who witnessed how she treated me firsthand, they didn't care then, and doubt they will now. I'm sure her Facebook friends knows too. She never posted me or about me. They can't not know she disliked me. Sounds like her Facebook friends would be the perfect people she can ask to be her caregiver. If they think it's so awful of you, they can step right up. Edit. I want to clarify I do not live with my mom and have it for over 2 years now. When she put me out, I never went back. My dad is involved in my life, but I keep him at a distance because I'm still going through stuff, which I'm going to therapy for, and partly blame him for never sticking up for me because he knew how she treated me. But he is here for me and I have friends and family on my dad's side who's supporting me. And I've been going through the comments and reading DMs bawling my eyes out. Y'all are so nice, and I want to thank all of you for your kind words. It means so much. I'll give you all virtual hugs because you guys really made my night. Thank you.